Hey there, Brady here with your daily tennis lessons. So we're looking at contact point this week at DTL, and today specifically we're looking at the contact point for the modern forehand. I learned tennis back in the early 80s, and I think there's probably a decent amount of you out there who did the same. And so the type of forehand that we learned and aiming that type of forehand is definitely different than what we're doing now with the modern forehand. I want to show you an example of how I used to aim my forehand because I had more of this classic step-in style forehand. So very simply, my coach had taught me that kind of the direction I step in is going to help direct the ball. So when I went for a cross-court forehand, I'd step a little more to my left, still being a more forward motion. And then if I wanted a down-the-line forehand, I'd kind of close up that stance a little more, possibly even step across my right foot a little bit. And obviously we know that the values of the modern forehand. You know, when we stand open stance, you know, the ability to uncoil on the ball creates power, helps out with creating heavy spin. It's just, to me, a game changer. And I think it goes without saying that a player on the other side of the net, if they recognize that the direction of my step dictated where my ball went, it's a little bit predictable, right? So a lot of players out there now are utilizing this modern forehand, but not maybe having as much success aiming their modern forehand. The focus might be more in just how to swing it. And so today I want to just go through the ideas of how I direct the ball out of open stance because there is no step in. All right, so before we get into it, just watch at my cross-court forehand versus my down-the-line forehand with an open modern forehand. There's cross-court, and there's down the line, okay? In terms of body position, setup, weight transfer, again, I think the great thing there is the athleticism I feel, and then also the disguise effect. How is my opponent supposed to know when I set up the exact same every time? How are they supposed to know where I'm aiming? The answer is simple. They're not going to have a very good chance at seeing it because the difference is so minute. Okay, so let's walk through this a little bit. In terms of contact point, when you are in open stance in this modern forehand, regardless of whether you go down the line or cross court, I always want us working with a contact point that at least lines up with your left foot. So with either of these shots, cross court or down the line, we want to be thinking that contact is at least matched up with that left foot. Okay, so now how do we get really, really accurate? Notice that when I reach a little farther in front of my left foot, okay, I'm going to put a ball down right here. From that position, my point of contact has my strings facing more cross court, okay? And now in that same position, if I thought about stopping my strings facing down the line, there's my down the line ball. Okay, so I'm thinking something like that. So that is a really small difference. A little farther out in front has my strings facing a little more to the left, and a little farther back, albeit not behind my feet, still lined up probably with that left toe, is going to have me directing the ball down the line. So now it's up to my opponent to key in to that difference. I think you guys would agree that's a really hard thing for somebody on the other side of the court to key into when there's only maybe 6 to 8 inches of difference between my 2 points of contact. But with that being said, that's how accurate as a hitter you need to be thinking. Point of contact is everything in terms of direction. All of us, you know, whether we're in modern open stance or not, have little differences in our swings. It's like a thumbprint, right? In terms of point of contact, that is an absolute must. We have to know that going out a little farther to get the ball is cross court, and hanging back behind it a little more is down the line. Okay, so let's take a look at a few more of these here. I'll go cross court with this. Reach out a little more on it. Down the line with this one. Stance is the same. Athleticism is there. Slightly point of contact change. And I've got command of the entire tennis court. So it's a super valuable tip there. I think a lot of you should be working out of open stance in this modern forehand. If you're not, I highly suggest getting used to it and then really refine those points of contact for cross court and down the line so that you not only feel athletic through the ball, but that you can trust direction as well. Okay, so that's all I got for you today. Hope that was super helpful. Please click like down below this video. And if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. As well as check down below me in the description of this video, you'll find the link to 3 free courses Mark and I have put together. I think you'll find those really helpful as well. All right, so until next time, be well, and we'll see you soon at Daily Tennis Lesson.